Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who is interested is welcome to join. Tonight, I will start the meeting by answering some of a set of questions submitted by Samanji from Sri Lanka. So I will read her questions first and then answer them before we continue on with our regular talk. Question from Samanji in Sri Lanka. Question number 1. How should an ideal Buddhist spend his or her day? Ideally, a Buddhist should do charity every day, give to charity of their choice, and keep the 5 precepts at all times, and read Dhamma books or listen to Dhamma talks, and meditate as much as possible. This is what an ideal Buddhist should spend the day with if it's possible. Give to charity, keep the 5 precepts, read, study the Dhamma teaching or listening to Dhamma talks, and meditate whenever possible. Okay, this is the first question. Question number 2. Many people say they practice metta meditation by simply reciting "May all beings be happy." But it is extremely difficult to put it into practice, as in our day-to-day lives, we come across many situations that would disrupt our peace of mind. Certain people really get on our nerves, make us angry. Could you kindly elaborate on metta meditation, on how it should be done in order to keep our mind free of hatred and angry feelings? Well, by reciting "May all beings be happy," it's just a reminder that this is our goal, that we should try to make people happy in as much as possible. And the way to make people happy, the Buddha said that first you have to be forgiving. If somebody did something bad to you, you should forgive them. Don't hold any grudges. Okay. Second, whatever you do, you should not hurt. You should not adversely affect other people by your action, whether intentionally or not. Third, you should not hurt them physically or mentally. Fourth, you should give them happiness. The fourth one, the way to give them happiness is to behave like Santa Claus. If you're Santa Claus, people will like you. Bring gifts and good things to people. Okay, so this is the 4 ways of showing loving kindness or metta. Be forgiving. Whatever you do, don't cause any trouble for other people. And don't hurt them physically or mentally. And fourth, make them happy by giving things that they like to get. If they like money, give them money. If they like good company, give them good company. Whatever they want, that you can give, if you can do it. And this is the way of showing loving kindness. Third question, could you give us a few tips to lead a happy life helping others, criticizing others less, and concentrating only on good thoughts? Well, you basically have to be happy yourself before you can make other people happy. Like I said, you should practice charity, keep the 5 precepts, study Dhamma teaching, and meditate. If you can do this, you will be able to direct your mind to help other people, and you will be happy at the same time. And you will not want to criticize other people, and you only think of good thoughts. So this is what you should do. First, you should make yourself happy by practice of charity, morality, and meditation. Once you are happy, then you will have good thoughts. Then you will be happy to help other people. Fourth question, the Buddha has said it is okay to consume meat if the following 3 conditions are fulfilled. First, if you have not heard that the animal is killed for you. Second, if you have not heard that the animal is killed for your consumption. Third, if you don't have even the slightest doubt that the animal is not killed for you. So if you have these 3 conditions, then you can eat the meat. Then she said, anyway, the meat industry is thriving because there are consumers to meet the supply. If there is no demand, the industry won't survive. Even though the animals are not killed for the consumption of one particular individual. Those who are involved in the meat industry do the job as they know that there will be enough demand to meet the supply. In other words, if there is no demand, there is no need to supply meat. Anyway, those who consume meat bought from the meat store, supermarket, or wherever will not commit a sin because none of the above condition is violated. But the animals are being killed because there is a collective demand. How would you justify this according to the teachings of the Buddha? By the law of karma. By the law of karma. See, if you did bad karma in your past life, you will be born sooner or later in your future life and be killed. If you kill animals for food in your past life, you might be reborn as an animal in your future life, and then you will be killed for food. So this is the law of karma. If you don't want to be killed, don't kill others. Question number 5. Non-Buddhists often argue that the Buddha was not against consuming meat. Would you enlighten society on this? The Buddha wasn't concerned about what you eat. The Buddha was concerned on what you did, what you do. So if you don't kill, that's good enough for him. If you want to eat meat or eat vegetable, that's your business. But you must not kill. That's the Buddha's concern. But as far as eating concerned, you can eat anything you want. If it's on the table, and you're not killed for the food that is put on your table, then you can eat them. Question number 6. Is it a sin to sterilize pet animals? Deprive the animal of the ability to produce cubs. There are even free of charge sterilization campaign in many countries to reduce the stray animal population. Is it a sin? No, it is not a sin because you did not kill anybody. Sterilization, whether on human or on animal, is not considered to be a sin or bad karma. It's not breaking the 5 precepts of killing, the first precept of killing. Question number 7. There is also a viewpoint that it is okay, not a sin, to sterilize an animal after allowing her to produce cub once. Isn't this a misconception? Like I say, sterilization is not a sin. So, you can sterilize anything. You can sterilize the germs like doctors do when they have to work on some medical operation. They have to sterilize their equipment first. So this is not a sin. This, number 8. Question number 8. In Sri Lanka, people usually offer dana, alms to temple bhikkhus. Unlike monastery bhikkhus, there are certain temple bhikkhus who fail to adhere to good moral conduct. There are certain bhikkhus who are after material gains. So laymen sometimes grumble that it is useless offering alms to such bhikkhus. Is it true? Is giving alms or worshipping bhikkhus who have failed to adhere to good conduct not a meritorious deed? Should we avoid offering alms to bad bhikkhus? Well, it is not good to support bad people, whether bhikkhus or not bhikkhus. But if they should need help, like if they are starving, it's still considered to be Buddhist to give food to starving people, even if they are bad people. Because this is a basic necessity of life. You can give the basic necessity of life to anybody who needs them. But if you have to support someone, you want to make sure that someone is a good person, someone who will do good things for other people. You don't want to support other people. You don't want to support someone who will go hurt other people. So you have to divide the two apart. Giving on necessity is okay to anybody, even to tigers or to snakes. If they are starving, you want to feed them, but you want to put them in a cage so that they don't go hurt other people. That's why they put bad people in jail, but they still feed people in jail. So feeding, helping other people in need is considered to be a meritorious deed. But once you know that person is no longer depend on your help, and if you know that person is bad, then you don't want to do anything for that person. But the act of giving, regardless of who you give to, is considered to be charity, good action, and it can give you good karma consequence. So don't use an excuse not to give because someone is bad. You can choose other people. If you find them to be bad, then choose other. Do good. Give charity to good people, good organization. I hope this clarify your question, answer your question. I have come across, this is question number 9. I have come across many Buddhists who have told me that they do not believe that there is a rebirth after this birth. How can we convince them and that there is a rebirth? How to prove it? Well, you have to convince yourself first before you can convince other people. If you can't convince yourself, then you cannot convince other people. So how to prove that there's rebirth? Well, you have to meditate. You have to practice meditation until you get to jhana. Then you'll see the separation of body and mind. Then you will understand the principle of rebirth. Otherwise, you will not be able to know it yourself. So if you cannot convince yourself, don't try to convince other people. Leave it to somebody else to do it. Leave it to those who already have convinced themselves that there is rebirth. Question number, this is the question number 9, second paragraph. Do such people commit a sin by being doubtful of the teaching of the Buddha? They don't commit sin, but they just block themselves from the opportunity to learn something from a very wise person like the Buddha. They just prevent themselves from being able to learn something from the Buddha because they don't believe in the Buddha. That's all. It's not a sin. It's just killing a good opportunity. It's hard to come by to see a Buddha or his teaching, to come across the Buddha or his Dhamma teaching. Because someone who can gain a lot from the teaching of the Buddha, such as being free from suffering forever. But if the person that has no faith in the Buddha, then that person would not want to study the Buddha's teaching. So that person will not be able to access knowledge that will help liberate that person from suffering, from the rounds of rebirth, the cycle of rebirth. Number 10, question number 10. Can Arahant talk to gods? Are gods and demons visible to an Arahant? See, you have to be a psychic to be able to contact the spiritual beings, which you call God. But in Buddhism, we call devas. These are spiritual beings, or the mind without a body. When the body dies, then the mind exists alone. We call this mind a spiritual being. If a person has a psychic power, he can contact and have conversation with spiritual beings. He doesn't have to be an arahant in order to be able to have psychic power, because psychic power comes at the level of samadhi. If you can enter into upajjhara samadhi, you will have some psychic power. And if you have the psychic power to communicate or get in touch with the spiritual being, then you can do that. You don't have to be an arahant. Some arahant don't have any psychic power, so they won't be able to communicate with the spiritual beings. Question number 11. There are many Buddhists in Sri Lanka who would give priority to horoscopes when arriving at crucial decisions related to their lives. Should a true Buddhist follow astrology? No. A true Buddhist should follow common sense. Okay? Common sense is what the Buddha teaches us. This is wisdom. Cause and effect. This is common sense. You do good, you get good consequences. You do bad, you get bad consequences. Not on the day whether that day is a good day to do good or not. The day doesn't matter. It's the action that counts. So if you do good, you don't have to consult astrology. You can do it every day. Same way with if you're gonna do bad, like robbing a bank, you don't have to consult astrology either. Because it's bad, it's gonna be bad for you. Even if you're successful in robbing the bank, but you are putting your mind into a lower realm of existence. So in Buddhism, we only consult the karma and the consequence of karma. Okay, I think this is the last question, question number 12. Excessive stress and fear of facing the future, maybe at university level, sometimes compel the students even to take their own lives. Similar incidents were reported from Sri Lanka recently. Could you enlighten the youth on how to cope with stress and lack of life issue, tackle life issue, irrespective of religious background. What should they do to relieve stress? Well, if they know how to meditate, that's the best way to relieve stress by reciting the mantra Bhutto Bhutto. Whenever you feel stressful, just keep reciting Bhutto Bhutto Bhutto. After a while, 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you'll feel better. As far as how to cope with stress and tackle life's issue, they have to learn the fact of life, that life is not certain. Life is anicca. Everything is changing all the time. So don't put too much expectation to anything. Take things as they come. Do your best. Hope for the best and do your best. And expect the worst also. If you can do this, then you won't have any stress. Take things as they come, because you cannot force them to come what you want, to get what you want. Like I say, life is a buffet, not an a la carte. Okay, I hope this answers all your questions. She wants this answer because she wants to put it in her paper on Sunday, I think. So I felt compelled to answer tonight. Normally, I would prefer to do this on a Q&A meeting. But anyway, I try to do it just for one time. Next time, I would prefer that she submit the question longer, and I would have time to answer her question on Sunday Q&A meeting. Okay, I hope I haven't bored anyone of you sitting here waiting. So if you want to have any comment, I'll be happy to hear your comment also. Okay, now we can come back to our normal routine. I'll go to the first person in the room, which is Felicia Chan, for her questions or comment, if she has any.
Good evening, Ajahn. I don't have questions for tonight. My meditation progress is good. I can directly enter into body loose condition every time when I meditate. I can also remain mindful and peaceful continuously when I'm not meditate. Ajahn, thank you for your teaching.
Okay, keep practice mindfulness, meditation, and wisdom. Okay.
Okay, noted.
Yok Bay from New York. Next, Yok Bay.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Okay, go ahead. Can hear you well.
I just have my one personal question. I just want to say in front of you, and I very sorry to Vanessa Chan because I do some mistake for her. I want she forgive me, and I want she happy. That's the only question I want to answer.
Okay, you hear that, Felicia Chan? She wants to ask for your forgiveness. Okay, no question from you tonight.
No, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, Kok Sing from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn. No questions at the moment. Thank you.
Okay, Nanapat from Bangkok, no, from Ubon Ratchathani, Thailand.
นมัสการค่ะท่านอาจารย์ I don't have any question ค่ะ
Okay, Mashi Mamio from Thailand also.
I have no question.
Okay, Kek Yenso from Penang. No question either.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah. Okay, Ricardo from Uruguay.
Good morning, good night, Ajahn.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good evening for me. Good morning for you.
Nice to talk to you. I just want to make a comment, and that is that I've been practicing walking meditation, as you told us last week, with right, left, right, left, right, left, and it works very good. No thinking on my mind, just
That's right. So simple, isn't it? So simple and
Yes.
so easy. And people want
Yeah.
to make it hard and difficult.
Yeah. And it's wonderful, and I thank you very much.
Yeah. Simple. We just want to stop thinking, control our thoughts.
Right.
We're like driving a car, an automobile. You have to be able to stop your automobile when you have to, or else it will crash.
Right. Right.
That's why we have problem nowadays, because people cannot stop their thoughts. They think, and then eventually they get into trouble with other people.
Right. Right. It's true. Yes.
Okay, happy to hear that you find it good for you.
Okay.
Anything
And,
else?
no, I want to show you another person that is making meditation here too.
Oh, your cat?
Yeah.
Hmm.
He sits around me when I'm doing meditation, and he meditates also.
Good, good.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, Philip from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur.
Good evening, Ajahn. Don't have any questions. Glad to be listening in.
Okay. Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn. No questions either for me. Thank you.
Okay. Professor Kenneth from Switzerland.
Good afternoon, Thanajan. Afternoon here. I have no question, just to comment that since moving here, it's working out quite well. I have much more time and less stress in the work. So it was a good move overall. More time for practice, and I'm very happy to have made a decision to move and give up some things, responsibilities. So
Yeah.
thank you for your guidance in that direction.
Yeah, try to empty your mind with responsibility as much as possible. Only do what you really absolutely need to do. If you don't need to do anything or have anything, don't have it better. Then you don't have to worry or to look after them. The less you have, the less stress you will have. The more you have, the more stress you will have.
Yeah, the responsibility is like carrying a big heavy weight, so it's good to get rid of that.
It's also nice to look at the end points from time to time to remind you that you're not taking anything with you anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
People forget the end point, the final destination.
Yeah, you don't take anything there.
Yeah.
But moving the lab and moving my own home was a good exercise, because I could throw away lots of things and get rid of a lot of things that are just not useful. So
we tend to be attached to them, even though we know we don't really gonna use them.
yeah,
But there's always the thought that maybe I might need it.
exactly. So there was a bit of pain involved in throwing some things away, but I was quite ruthless this time.
If it's possible, give it to someone else. But
Yeah,
I guess, but I guess nobody wants old stuff anymore anyway, right? People
I
can
managed
get
to
it.
give away quite a lot. There's like charity shops and things who take things, and
Yeah, that's a way of doing charity also, giving things away, even
that's very
though
good.
things you don't need.
Mm.
Very good. Any question?
No question today,
Okay.
Thanajan, just practicing. Thank you.
Next, Belinda from Singapore.
Ajahn, I have no questions today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sri and Jack from Vancouver, Canada.
Hello, Ajahn.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a question. Buddha taught us like one of the dukkha is when we left, like the one that we love. So is this statement going back to we attach to the 5 aggregates?
What do you say?
Like when we separate from
Separation from the ones you love. Yes,
yeah.
the ones you love is made of the 5 aggregates. Everybody is made up of the 5 aggregates. You, me, and everybody is 5 aggregates. Rupa is the body.
Mm.
And then the nama, the Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana is the mind.
Mm.
Everybody is made up of 2 parts, the mind and body. And when the body dies, then we cannot no longer connect with the mind. So we are separated from the mind and the body. So we feel sad. That's dukkha. Feeling sad is dukkha. Because of your attachment, because of your cravings, your desire not to lose what you love. So when you lose something you love, then you feel sad, you have dukkha. But if you know ahead of time and then you prepare yourself, telling yourself that this is going to happen, then you might have something to absorb the dukkha. Wisdom, this is wisdom, to know ahead of time what's going to happen. Like knowing when the snow going to fall is then you can prepare yourself, right?
Yeah.
So wisdom here is to teach us to prepare for the future that's gonna come. That will happen, like aging, sickness, and death, separation from the one true love, because it's all fall under the law of anicca and anatta. Anicca, this is the changing process of the body and mind. Anatta, you cannot stop this process. It's a natural process. It's a work of nature.
Mm.
Like we know the rising and the setting of the sun, right? So when the sun sets, we don't feel sad because we know ahead of time that today the sun gonna set at a certain time. But if you don't know this, you expect the sun to stay on forever. When the sun disappears, then you become sad.
Mm.
So that's why the Buddha teach us to constantly remind ourselves that we are subjected to aging, sickness, and death, and separation from the ones we love. Just keep reminding yourself many times a day, and your mind will eventually learn to accept this reality, this truth that will happen in the future. And when this thing happens, it will not then hurt your mind. Because you don't expect otherwise, right? Right now you expect you're gonna separate from your wife, right? Have you ever thought of separating from your wife?
Yes, now.
Okay, you should think every day.
Yeah.
But not on your own volition. You don't want to separate from your wife from your own volition, but because you are forced to do it by the law of nature.
By the law of nature, yeah.
Anatta is a law of nature. Yeah, I couldn't think of the right word for anatta. I think this is a good word. Anatta is a law of nature. And everything is the law of nature. Everything is under the law of nature. Our body, our mind, all under the law of nature. Like the sun and the rain, they're all under the law of nature. So it's not our place to try to tell nature what to do. Our place is to wait for nature to tell us what it's going to give us. And we just have to accept it from nature. So you don't know when you're going to be separated from your wife. But you know one day it's not going to happen, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you have to prepare your mind for that day when that happens. You're going to tell yourself, I'm not going to cry. I'm going to I want to feel good for her and for me. Because she won't have to worry about you and you won't have to worry about her anymore.
Tan Ajahn, when we contemplate this, like eventually our mind will find an answer.
Eventually the mind will accept this reality. Once you accept it, then you feel peace of mind. You have peace of mind. No longer worry about separation. If you still worry, it means you haven't yet accepted this reality, this truth.
Yeah.
Because you still have desire or craving for being together.
Yeah.
But keep contemplating. Try to do it many times a day. Whenever you have nothing else to do, just contemplate on the first noble truth: birth, aging, sickness, death, separation from the one you love. Encountering the ones you don't love can be suffering also. When you have to run into people you don't like.
That won't be a problem.
Sometimes it can be a problem when you're forced to live with a person that you don't like.
Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So you have to prepare yourself for these situations beforehand. You have to do your homework.
Yeah.
Like you are a boxer and you're gonna have to go into the ring one day. So you have to train yourself. If you know when you go into the ring, you can get knocked out from the first blow.
Yes, Tan Ajahn, I always remember this from you. Yeah. So
yeah. Okay, we have to train ourselves.
Yeah.
About anicca. People don't like anicca because it makes them sad, make them feel bad, make them feel morbid. But this is exactly what's going on in our life. It's anicca. So learn to live with it. Learn to live with anicca. Once you can live with anicca, then there will be no stress, no problem. Accept anatta, accept the law of nature. And in order to be able to do it well, you have to have equanimity. You have to meditate. When you have equanimity, then your mind will not react to any situation. Okay, anything else? Nothing from you tonight, check.
I'm good. Yeah, check.
No, I think for me, I think the one Buddha, for me, I think Buddha has a very high standard because of the when he asked Venerable Ananda that how many times you contemplate death, and he said like maybe few times a day, and Buddha said, oh, you're very lazy. Like
Complacent.
you have to think about death every breath. And yeah, that's a good one because yeah, even I'm the same. I just think maybe like few times a day, but whenever I hear this sutta, I feel like I'm so lazy that I can't think of it every moment, like every breath. And the Buddha has a very high standard, I think. But I think that's the standard that should be strive on, right, Ajahn?
Yes, and it's for someone who has no work to do. See, the homeless, like the monks, they have no work to do, so they can constantly contemplating on anicca. But for you, people who have to work, you cannot contemplate on anicca because you expect things to last when you do something, right? When you get something, you expect them to last for a while anyway. So it's contradicting. your way of life and the way of life of the Buddha's teaching is contradictory.
Mm. Oh.
So you will not be able to really contemplate it. Only in this, when you come to this meeting, we will talk about it. But once you leave this meeting, you will forget about it. Because there will be some other thing that you will have to think and worry, and you'll forget about what we talked just now. But if you have no work, then you can continue on thinking like this after you finish this meeting.
Oh.
But you have to go do something else, so you have to spend your thoughts on some other thing. And after a while, you forget.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh, that's why we can't do it like every breath, or it's
Yeah, you
contract.
have to be alone.
Oh.
You have to be in seclusion. No disruption from other people or things.
Oh.
No interruption. Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you, Tan
All
Ajahn.
right.
Okay.
Mechi Vili from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajahn. Today I have some questions. The first one is related with my questions on Sunday about giving away my money. So does it mean that I shouldn't keep any money at all? And don't worry about the future, since currently I'm quite well supported by the monastery, and I don't find any other place that is better than this to practice at. Is that correct?
Well, ideally, you should follow the Buddha's example. And the Buddha didn't have any money.
Okay. Yeah. Because
And if you feel you have to have some money, you have to be very careful. You have to put a cap or limit on how much you should have.
yes.
But if you don't put a limit or cap, you keep thinking, oh, maybe I need more, maybe I need more, you know. And it will start to make you look for money more than looking for meditation.
Yeah.
And you forget that you are gonna die and you're gonna get sick, you know.
Yeah, I find that when the meditation is not good, and then I have the temptation to use the money to buy things. So I'm thinking maybe I should just give away all, and so that I don't have any option.
Yeah,
like that.
cast your life to fate,
Yeah, it is.
to your
It is.
karma. If it's time for you to die, no matter how much money you have, you cannot stop it from dying. So when it's not yet time for you to die, probably somebody will be there to look after you, for you.
I see. Yeah, and I feel that because I'm in the process of cashing out. I mean, I'm thinking to close the bank account and give away all the money, and then yeah, I feel like I'm more give it to the fate, like whatever happens.
Even nowadays, I didn't have any money with me. I was poor, I was penniless when I became a monk. And when I spent 8 years, almost 9 years, I have no money at all. I never thought about money. I was only thinking about meditation, mindfulness, wisdom, asubha. So you don't really need money, you know. If you're meditator, real meditator, you don't need money. Even when you get sick, you can use the Dhamma medicine if you have no money to buy any medicine. Just use samadhi and wisdom. Use mindfulness and wisdom as the medicine to look after your mind. You know, the body is not so much important as the mind. When your body gets sick, the mind gets sicker than the body. So you feel terrible not because of the sickness of your body, it's the sickness of the mind. But if you have the Dhamma medicine, you can cure the sickness of the mind. You might not be able to cure the sickness of the body, but that doesn't matter. Once the mind has no sickness, the mind is happy, and the mind can live with the sickness of the body, or even death of the body, if it has to be that way. So concentrate on the Dhamma medicine if you worry about sickness. That's what you're here for. That's why you're ordained. You don't want to have any dealing with money anymore. You're willing to give up your life for the Dhamma.
So if, let's say, in the future, people want to give me money, should I just say that I don't receive any money?
No, you can accept them, then you can give them away. Because people want to give to you, so you don't want to turn their friendship, their kindness. You accept their kindness, but you don't have to keep the money, and you don't have to tell them that you're not gonna keep the money either. It's not. They don't care what you do with the money once they give it to you. It's up to you what you want to do. But you don't want to say, "Oh, I'm gonna give to somebody else." When somebody give you the money, it might make them feel bad because they want to give it to you, not to give to somebody else. But you don't have to tell other people what you're gonna do with the money.
We just
If they give you the money with condition, then you can decline. You say, I give you this money so you can do this or that, and you say maybe you cannot accept the condition, then you can decline. But if they give you without any condition, then you just accept it, and then you can do whatever you want with it.
Currently, the monastery also gives some allowance for us. I mean, should I just tell them that I don't need to be given allowance?
You don't want to make an issue out of it. Say they give you accept it, and you can give it to anybody you want. Quietly better.
Quietly, okay.
Because if you do something like this, it can be an issue with other people. Might think, "What's wrong with you? You're trying to show off or something."
I see.
Try to be discreet as much as possible, whatever you do. Okay.
Okay.
I think the word discreet is now forgotten in the new world here. It's always showing up on your Facebook, on your Instagram. It's always showing up. No such thing as discreet anymore. Why people want to show up for? What do they get from people? Say they like, yes, put. Maybe they want to use it for advertising money. They can sell advertising if they get a lot of likes and followers. Okay.
Okay. Another question is, I have an apartment which is under my name, but actually it belongs to my parents. So mainly it is managed by them, and then they are the one who will deal with the money. So, I would like to ask, as far as karma is concerned, whatever they do with the apartment or the money received from the apartment, I will not have any effect on that. Is that correct? Because if according to the law, then I will be responsible if anything wrong with the apartment or anything related with the apartment.
Well, you transfer your ownership to them. It's simple.
Because currently,
Anything under your name, you can just transfer it to them.
currently, we plan to sell it away, and then because if we only transfer the ownership, it will cost some money, transfer the ownership from me to them.
So what? You're gonna give up the whole apartment anyway. So why you worry about the transfer fee?
Oh, okay, because because our parents doesn't want to like waste the money just to transfer the to change the name. That's why we want to save. They want to save the money of the transfership, so that's why it is still put under my name, but it is managed by them.
Yeah, but they don't see the problem with you. What you have to still deal with this thing. You see, you are supposed to be homeless. You're supposed to have no possession, because when you have possession, you have responsibility.
Yes, it still burden my mind because I still have this asset. Like
That's
from
right.
time to
Just
time.
tell them that the fee is worth more. It's worthy of the responsibility or burden that you have to worry about. That you have to look after things.
Okay. So I will try to talk to them.
Or tell them to donate to the monastery or somebody, give to charity.
Okay, so I see. Yeah. Give the apartment to charity kind of thing.
Well, they can sell the apartment and then they can give the money to the monastery.
Oh, okay.
Or to any charitable organization of your choice.
Okay, I will give the idea, but currently I think they might need the money for their future. That's what I think.
But it's up to you. If you want to keep money, that's fine. It's not for me to tell you. But ideally, it's better not to have any involvement with money.
Yeah, currently I feel that.
Because it takes away your precious time for meditation. You might have to keep thinking about these things. And even now, you're still thinking about it.
Yes, it's still a burden for me. Yeah, so that's why I try to give away what I can give away, including this property. I will try to talk to my parents so that I don't have to deal with these things.
Okay.
Okay. Another question is about adhitthana and sacha, determination and the truthfulness. I would like to ask. I did try to make a determination, like for example, not taking the side dishes. I mean the dessert during my meal for 2 months, but then I can only keep it like about 1 month. Because on one day I was very bad. I was having a very bad mood, so I couldn't keep that promise. So it makes me quite disappointed, and I don't dare to make any determination anymore. So I just do what I can do without making any promise to myself, because I'm afraid I will break it and feel bad. So how would Thanachan advise upon this matter?
Well, setting up resolution or determination is good for someone who is always wishy-washy, always constantly changing their mind. So once you have set up a resolution, then you are forced to stick to that goal that you have set up to. But if you are weak and you are not strong enough to follow through your resolution, then you just have to use some other method. It's just another method of forcing yourself to do something good. But if you cannot force yourself by this method, then you have to try some other method. Or lower your resolution and say, I'll do my best. I'll do my best. And my best is anicca. Someday good, someday bad.
Actually, that's what I'm doing currently. It's just I know what I should be doing. I'll just try my best, but I don't want to give expectation to myself that I can fulfill my resolution kind of thing. Is that correct?
Well, then you can blame yourself, say, not blaming on other people. It's you who is not resolute. You are still wishy-washy. You're still
Yes.
you're still weak. So
Yeah.
what you need is to practice more mindfulness. Mindfulness will stiffen up your resolution, your resolve. The stronger mindfulness you have, then the easier for you to stick with the resolution.
So currently, I just focus back to my mindfulness and don't worry about making resolution anything. Yeah.
Yeah, and try just to do and take things one step at a time. Do something that you find that you can do. Something that you cannot yet do, then maybe you say, maybe not now is not yet the time to do it. Wait until your mind becomes stronger, your mindfulness becomes stronger. Then you know that you can do it, then do it.
Okay, then that's all for my questions today. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay. Nova 31, Huawei. Can you hear me? What's your name? Huawei Nova. Go ahead, say something. Turn on your microphone. Unmute your microphone. Where are you from? What's your name? Kwan Liman? Are you Kwan Liman?
Yeah, is it the wrong person?
Because you're on the screen, it says Huawei Nova 3i.
Oh, sorry. I'm not sure why it comes up. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Then Ajahn, is it okay to offer a long shirt to the monk if the weather is cold?
It depends on the tradition or the monastery that the monk belongs to. Like when we stay with Nokta Mahabodhi, he doesn't allow any shirts or anything like that. Anything that worn by lay people, we cannot use. We only use what monks can use.
Even socks?
Yes, socks you allow if it's really cold, and also cap, to put on your head when it's really cold. But not shirt, long sleeve shirt or something like that. They have sweater with half exposed shoulder, exposed one shoulder. We can wear that type of sweater.
Oh.
No sleeveless sweater with an exposed shoulder.
Oh.
Like this, like the one I'm wearing now, but it's a sweater instead.
Oh, but I haven't seen one like this before. Like one side exposed. I haven't seen a shirt like this before.
Yeah, it's probably not in Indonesia or Malaysia. You have to be in Thailand. But maybe the monks in other countries, they might adapt accordingly to their availability. Maybe they cannot get this thing. This one side one shoulder exposed. So they might just wear a sweater or something like that.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Alvin Lee from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. Ajahn, referring to what you were mentioning just now, the law of nature, anatta, is it to do with the 5 niyamas that Buddhism talk about, Ajahn?
The 5 what?
Niyamas, NIYAMAS, like Uttu niyama, Kama niyama.
NYNA Yana.
Niyamas, NIYAMAS. Niyama. Niyama. Yeah.
What does it mean? I don't know.
What I read before is that there is karma niyama, the law of karma, utu niyama, the law of, I think it's seasonal law or something, Dhamma niyama, the law of Dhamma, and then chitta niyama and bija niyama, the law of germination and things like this. Yeah, so when you talk about law of nature, is it to do with one of these law? I think it's Dhamma niyama.
No, I just thought of the word.
Okay.
Just to use it as a comparison, as to describe what anatta is. That's all.
Right.
Anatta is like when you talk about clouds, you can say it's anatta, right? And when you talk about people, you don't say them they are anatta. You say they are people, but they actually are like clouds. But we don't consider people to be like clouds. That's all. But according to the truth, people are like clouds. They are clouds. But we've been brainwashed by our delusion to separate the body from nature, and it's actually part of the work of nature. That's what anatta means, no self. It's all the work of nature, like the clouds in the sky, the tree, the water, and everything. This is our work of nature.
Yes. Yeah, because I believe that I was told before, not everything in this what is happening in this world is to do with the law of karma, this law of karma. There are 5 laws altogether that affect whatever is going on in this world.
That's right. The law of nature, like the storms, the floods, and this are work of nature, right?
Yes.
It's not work of karma. Or maybe maybe some work of karma might contribute to this work. What people do nowadays, like global warming. This is karma, people actions. But if you look at people as nature, then it's still considered to be a work of nature.
Yeah. Even in the insurance policy, right?
Yeah, everything that we do is all work of nature, but we just somehow separate ourselves from nature.
Yeah. In the insurance policy, Tanajan, they call it the act of God.
Act of God.
Yeah. Yes. So they try not to pay you by saying that it's an act of God.
Act of anicca. See, for Buddhism is the act of anicca. You cannot foretell what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Tanajan.
Yeah. The purpose is for us not to rely on anything. That's all. That's the whole purpose of anatta. So let us know that we cannot rely on anything. So it's better to give up everything. Give up the 5 khandhas. Give up everything, and exist in emptiness. That's the only thing we can rely on is emptiness. Emptiness will always be emptiness. It will never change. And there's no movement in emptiness either.
I think according to the law of Dhamma, emptiness, anatta is all a law of, like what you say, law of nature, which is the law of Dhamma. Emptiness, anatta, I think, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Next, Evie from Indonesia.
Namo Buddhaya, Ajahn.
Speak louder, please.
Yeah, can Ajahn hear me? Can Ajahn hear me?
Yes, good.
Okay. Ajahn, I have a question. After the Buddha Parinibbana, Buddha said after his Parinibbana will appear many new teaching. How to distinguish the true teaching about Buddha? Because it seems there are so many teaching like Mahayana or others. There are also teaching that look, there are also another teaching that look good, but in the end turn out to be distorted. Many also say their teaching are different, but will eventually unite it with the Buddha teaching. How can we know that it will be as accurate as Buddhism?
Well, the Buddha gave this answer to the last person who asked this type of question. He said, any teaching that contains the Noble Eightfold Path, that's the right teaching.
And I have a friend who can communicate it with spirit, including gods or ghosts directly, see the past life and read people's minds. He helped a lot of people, especially to the who are involved with karma, like why this person's life is so difficult. Then he will examine past life and what was wrong in the past. This is what the person has done in the past, and at the same time a solution to relieve that person's suffering. My brother also got his help and life changing for better. Also other like things like being disturbed by spirit or something like that. In Theravada version, is this true?
What do you mean true? About what?
United with the Buddha teaching.
United with the Buddha teaching.
Mm-mm.
You have to study his teaching. You want to be united with the Buddha teaching. You have to study and then practice his teaching. Then you'll be united with the Buddha's teaching.
And this friend, he is know about Eightfold Path, and he tell us the Buddha. Yes, whatever he talk about this how to. I think he said that he is the Theravada, also Tantrayana and Theravada. So I trust him. Actually, I trust him. So I make a wrong decision by trust him because.
Well, the Buddha said before you can trust someone, you have to prove that whether what they say is true or not. Because if you don't trust someone and you don't know whether that person is saying the truth or not, then you could be deceived.
Because he often telling us not to do the bad karma like this. I think what he explained to us is just like Theravada teaching also.
Well, it's up to you. Theravada teaching is already been established for 2,500 years, you know. And this person you just met, I don't know how many days, and you already believe in that person.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't know whether you're smart or dumb.
But in the when Buddha time, Buddha also tell about this the psychic power, right? Maybe this person.
Well, psychic power is you know it's there for some people who can access it, but it's not the answer to the cessation of suffering. Psychic power cannot kill the defilement, eliminate the defilement, stop rebirth. It's the three characteristics of existence and the four noble truths that will be the one to stop the defilement.
Maybe the person with the psychic power also still can help people.
Can help people physically, but not spiritually. He cannot help people to become free from defilement or dukkha.
But to solve problem, maybe can, right?
Well, like you say, there's something he can do, like he can read your mind.
Yeah,
whatever.
he can read our mind. This is true, Ajahn. I see.
Yeah,
He
this
can
is
read
what this
people's
this
mind.
is one of the psychic power.
And he can see what we like. He said, you have 3 child, all right, and your child is very noisy and always make you
Yeah,
get
but this
angry or
knowledge is not important for
yeah.
your cessation of suffering.
Yeah,
So,
I think he can help people to relieve their
so it's up to you what you want. Okay?
yeah.
If you want this type of thing, you go ahead, go after it.
So I think these people can be trust or not.
It depends on what you want from
yeah.
it.
So I asked Ajahn how to see the right teaching of the Buddha. So
Noble
many
Eightfold,
teaching.
Noble Eightfold Path. Does he say anything about sila, about samadhi, about panya, about charity?
Yeah. He also tell that like charity. So and he also suggests we to meditate, but meditate was better have a teacher. He said like that, not just sit meditate. I must have teachers. He said. Is that true, Ajahn?
Everything you study in Buddhism, you need a teacher, even for charity. That's why you come into this room.
Yeah.
If you don't need a teacher, then you don't need to come into this room.
And he said me that I should do the metta bhavana and samatha bhavana. He said me like that. So what the difference about metta bhavana and samatha bhavana, Ajahn?
I don't know. I don't want to discuss something that that you and that person you should discuss with that person yourself. Don't ask me.
No.
If you have any question, you should ask them. Not ask me. I'm not the teacher. I'm not your teacher. He's your teacher. Go ask your teacher.
No, I want to ask Ajahn how to do metta bhavana and samatha bhavana.
Just recite metta, and
not Buddha.
Or Bhutto, Samatha Pavana. It's the same thing.
Oh,
To
that
calm
is
your
the
mind.
same. Metta bhavana and samatha bhavana is the same, Ajahn.
It's used to calm the mind the same way. If you concentrate on the word metta, then your mind can become calm.
Loving kindness. Okay, Ajahn.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn. Yeah.
All right. Christine Koe from Penang.
Long Paul, good evening to you. Since last week, I heard Long Paul said we don't have to waste time and have to practice. So I start practice meditation back. Just like don't waste time, because last week Long Paul did say don't waste another 20 years. So I started practice back and I also hope that in this room we can continue have a Long Paul guidance to achieve Lord Buddha's teaching soonest. Thank you, Long Paul.
Okay, you're welcome. Sulan, you came in early tonight.
Yeah, hello Ajahn. Nice to see you again. Yeah. Came in early today. Then I was also quite surprised that today format was similar to Sunday Q&A at the start. Yeah.
You have any questions tonight?
Yeah. I have a question. I'm just wondering, like, after we have done like charity or good deeds, so then when we are sharing of merits, must it be done like right after we have done something good, or can we like accumulate until like maybe when we are ready to share, then we share? Like, is there any difference, like sharing immediately or like we accumulate until sometime then we share?
Well, say if you don't share it immediately, you can forget, you see. And the good feeling that you have accumulated, that you have got from your charity can disappear from your consciousness temporarily. It goes deep into the memory. So when it's just still alive, still up front, then you should share it right away. It's simple. You don't need anything. You just think in your mind, say, I like to share this good feeling with certain person. That's all you have to do.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to have monks to chant for you. You don't have to have water to pour or anything like that. But just mentally mention in your mind, I like to share this happiness with whoever wants to have it, can come and get it. If you want to share with someone who passed away, like your friend or your family member, you can just tell them, here it is for you.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know. Yeah. So, when we're still having the good feeling, then we should share it immediately. And then it also doesn't have to be like anything complex, like having to like chant the entire chant before we say the word.
This a ritual. This a ritual. You can skip them.
Okay.
The essential thing is to have happiness from charity. When you have happiness from charity, then you can share this happiness.
Then if let's say we recollect back these memories, would it still be effective?
Well, I don't know. It might be different. Like when you think about it and what actually happened to you, then it's different.
Okay. And if let's say I were to dedicate the merits to all beings versus I dedicate the merits to like a specific name, now I feel like if I dedicate to all beings, it feels like everybody can receive the blessing.
Yeah, but imagine if you have to share to everybody, then everybody will just have a small bite. That's all. Like if you have a piece of cake and if you share it to one person, then he can have the whole cake, right? But if you share to 10 people, then it has to be divided up into 10 pieces.
Oh, okay. Because I think one issue that I have is that when I start to dedicate merits, then it's like one name after another pop up.
Yeah, but you have to look at the amount of merit you make. If you just make $1 merit, and then if 10 people share, then each one get about 10 cents. 10 cents each. But if you share with just one person, then that person can get $1, one whole dollar.
Oh yes, that's right. Then in that case, would there be any like priority that we should kind of have when it comes to sharing of merits?
It's up to you. It's up to you. Who you think about most, who you like to give most, give to that person. If you like to give it to your father, give it to your father. If you like to give it to your mother, give it to your mother. Or share it with them, mother and father, half and half.
Oh, okay. But they are still living, they are still alive. So
Oh yes, I mean this is just an example.
Okay. Okay, got it. Yeah, I think it really helps like understanding the logic behind, because previously I would for simplicity I would just say dedicate the merits to all beings, because it feels like like very good, like that, like all beings are
Yeah, all beings, 1 million beings come and get your $1.
yeah, yeah. Now that you explain, I think I get it now. And yeah, I used to like chant the whole thing. Then by the time I say I dedicate the memory, then the good feeling already no more. Like, only the first part of the chanting got good feeling. But the time I say dedicate, the feeling no more.
Okay.
Yeah. So
All
that,
right. Is that all?
yeah, that's all. Thank you so much, Ajahn. Yeah.
Bruce Lee from Indonesia. Bruce Lee, you have any question?
Good evening, Ajahn. I don't have any question. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, we'll go to Kunla for more questions from Facebook or YouTube.
There are 7 questions from Facebook and YouTube, Ajahn. The first question from Jitta. Dear Ajahn, bowing to you, a quick update. I took my 6th COVID-19 vaccination booster yesterday, so I think I'm ready for the trip. And by the way, I went to the local largest monastery library and retrieved 3 your books there, including My Way in year 2014, Dhamma for the Asking Volume 2, 2015, and Mountain Dhamma 2016. May I know, is it possible for me to collect all your latest English books when I come? I will request the librarian to store them into that library so your wisdom can bless more people. Sadhu.
Well, you have to come and look for yourself. I don't know how many books we have left. So just come and then see what is there available. You can pick them up.
There are 3 questions from the multiversal unity. And the first question is, Dear Prajan, in order to bless the Deva and make Deva enjoy or share Dhamma to the Deva, can that be done in one Jitta moment for those who have the psychic power?
Not one moment. It's just talking like we are talking now. When you talk about Dhamma, you might take a lot of time to explain the Dhamma. You just don't use one moment and then the whole sutta will be will be delivered. No, there's no such thing as that. You have to do it just like we are doing right now, talking.
And the second question from the multiversal is, how can we ensure the psychic power or vision is true and not illusion?
Well, if you don't know, then you don't know. What can I say?
And the third question is, for Arahant, where should they normally put their mind, in which state, and how to use it in everyday life? Thank you.
Oh, you have to be an Arahant to find that out also.
Next question from Tutupan. Namaste, Ajahn. What is the difference between Kilesa and Sankhara? Thanks so much for your teaching.
Well, Sankhara means the mental action done by the mind, such as thought or thinking is Sankhara. Defilement are greed, hate, and delusion. But in order to bring out your greed, hate, you have to use Sankhara. You say, I want to get this or that. You have to think first. Then you have defilement come. Defilement use Sankhara as the tool to appear, to come out. You have to think, I hate this person. Then the defilement anger will come after. So you have to think. Sankhara is thinking, while defilement is greed, hate, and delusion. But when there's no Sankhara, when Sankhara doesn't do anything, then greed, hate, and delusion cannot come into action.
Next question from Xiao Chan. Ajahn, my meditation can be good last week, but this week so difficult for sitting meditation. It's up and down so obviously. Is it normal for a practitioner?
Yes, it's anicca, but it depends on how much you practice also. The less you practice, the more changing it becomes. But if the more you practice, then it becomes more stable.
Next question from the multiversal unity. If we teach people right Dhamma and we die and rebirth again, will we able to develop and get good result from the last life karma?
I don't know. I guess so. If you do good karma, then when you're born into the next life, then you get the result of good karma.
Next question from Po Liang Soon. For a concentration, what is the state of mind that able to be continue vipassana, and what is the cultivation?
Well, ideally, you should have equanimity from the fourth jhana. When you come out, then your mind will be more stable and more concentrated, and be able to contemplate on a certain particular object for a long time, such as a sukha or anicca, for instance. But if you don't have ubekha or equanimity, when you come out of meditation, your mind can be easily consumed by your defilement. So you won't be able to contemplate on anicca or on a sukha for a long time.
Two questions from the Morning Star, and the first question is, have you ever shared merit to your late mother and father? Please kindly explain about the sharing merit. Thank you.
And this is my personal question. I would not like to answer. It has nothing to do with you.
And the second question is, can we share merit to live person by thinking of them after we finish dana, or we have to call them by phone and let them know? Thank you.
You don't share merit, but you can show loving kindness to them.
And
Okay.
one more question just come from the Morning Star. I heard that only certain beings in certain realm can receive merit, not all. Then should we still share merit to our parents who pass away, even we don't know where they are? Thank you.
Well, you just presume that perhaps they might be in the level where they need the merit. So it doesn't hurt just to do it, because you already have the merit to share anyway. So just share it, whether they can receive it or not. That's their problem, not yours. Your problem is to share. The problem is to whether they can receive it or not. Okay.
That's all,ท่านอาจารย์.
Anybody would like to ask any more questions or add any comment? You're welcome to raise your hand and unmute the microphone. Looks like everybody's happy, content. No more questions for tonight. Well, in that case, then I think we should then call this meeting to an end. Thank you for your participation. I hope this meeting has benefited you somewhat and helped you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay mindful, stay safe, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
สาธุค่ะสาธุค่ะ
Thank you.
Thank you, Admin.
Thank you, boy.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Bye bye. Good night.
you.
Bye.
Good night. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.